Good evening to everyone. Am I audible?
Good evening, ma'am. You are audible.
Okay, thank you. So sorry for the inconvenience because last class I think it was not able to conduct it. The sir actually sir is busy and he was not able to take the class in that time period. One more thing, today I think MCSI class also it was not being conducted because of bad network condition. We will try to adjust these classes because while ED class is going on, 6 to 7 ED class will go conducted, then 7 to 8 we have a vacant portion. So we'll try to make it out in that time period, and accordingly we will conduct all your classes. So even production class we will try to manage. Fine, and yeah, please.
One request. Whenever
Yeah.
you will adjust the classes, kindly request to inform or intimate earlier, because we are planned for traveling accordingly.
Yeah, I always, if who is talking, Prashant. Prashant,
Yes, ma'am.
if you in group, if you there in group, I always message before 5 hours or 4 hours before the adjustment of classes. Only the classes which is not going to be occurred. That means like today MCSI class, Sulochana madam try to connect several times, but she was unable to connect due to bad network condition. So in that time period, I'm also very helpless because I was also in a class. So I was helpless to inform you because I also knows that after a hour, after complete of my class, I got to know that your MCSA class was not occurred, right? And production class, I was traveling that time period from DDC to my home. That's why I am not able to adjust that class. But if Prashant, you are there in a group, I always try to give you information much before, because I also know you all are working, and time is adjusting time for classes is a bit of difficult for all of you and for all of us also. Fine. Yes, so mu try karibi beforehand tamanku janeyako. And today also we'll have a discussion with Sujit sir. Sir told to conduct Saturday and Sunday classes in offline mode at DDC. Right from morning 8 to around 12. So we will prepare a timetable accordingly, and we'll inform all of you tomorrow that whether this Saturday, Sunday we'll have because this is the fourth Saturday and Sunday. Max, student have holidays on fourth Saturday. So I hope maximum student can came to DDC to interact with the teacher one-to-one. So because due to these online classes, most of these students are not able to interact one-to-one with the teachers. So this is like an opportunity. Those who could able to come, I request you please come to DDC from 8 a.m. We will conduct the classes 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. 12 noon, and in between that we'll have a half an hour break for the for refreshment. So you come this Saturday, Sunday may be conducted offline classes, not online classes.
Yes, ma'am.
And
It's a good opportunity.
please, those who could able to come, fine. ଯୋଉମାନେ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ଭିତରେ ରହୁଛନ୍ତି or reachable distance ରେ ରହୁଛନ୍ତି, try କରନ୍ତୁ Saturday Sunday ଆମର ଏଇ Saturday Sunday ଟା ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ doubt clearing classes କରିବୁ offline class. So ଆପଣଙ୍କର COVID ପୂର୍ବରୁ ତ MBA classes ବି offline ଥିଲା, but ଏବେ online classes ହଉଛି, and we normally find out that online classes also being effective. बहुत पिला class करी पारुचंदी. That's why we still continue the concept of online classes. And also government also gives us permission to make this online classes. So adre konosi problem nahi. But still आपण माने जदि समय बाहर कर पड़छन्ती आसंतु this Saturday Sunday we will conduct offline classes and some of the MCSI classes right from 26th of this month चारटा कि पांचटा क्लास अच्छी MCSI जोटा आउ मॉर्निंग आवर्स रे हबनी सेटा इवनिंग आवर्स रे हमें कंडक्ट करबा एंड अकॉर्डिंगली आई विल चेंज द टाइम टेबल एंड आई विल इन्फॉर्म द टाइम टेबल इन योर ग्रुप पोस्ट द टाइम टेबल इन योर ग्रुप आपण माने सेही हिसाब रे क्लास करिवे मॉर्निंग आवर्स रे हे परे गोटे घंटा आफ्टरनून रे in some days afternoon hours re 3 घंटा क्लास हे परे okay that's it this is what the information needs to be informed to all of you एटा गोटे basic information थिला जोटा मते आपण मानन को दबार थिला so I'll give and then we'll start our studies last class re we have a discussion we already have had a discussion about the comparison I think comparison mo gote padhi thili tuमको that is what is monetary policy and what is fiscal policy of how these two policies are being interrelated with each other I think that is being covered so today we will straight away go to the what is monetary policy now as if I have already told you that monetary policy is a kind of a policy which is being offered conducted implemented formulated and controlled by the RBI that means Reserve Bank of India so while we're talking about monetary policy it is conducted it is formulated implemented everything was done through the RBI just a minute I need to share my screen wait just a while is it now visible screen is visible my screen is visible pilamane
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Thank you. So while we're talking about what are the basic I think a slide portion amar padhai thila monetary policy influence the supply of money cost of money rate of interest and availability of money and I think this is also being covered supply of money means whenever there is a need of a huge amount of huge amount of loans to the general well-being it must be afforded by the RBI second one is cost of money that means fixing of interest rate of various loan products or you can say debt products and various kind of fixed deposits schemes and all it has to be fixed that is rate of interest then availability of money and supply of money have a very thin line difference availability of money mane kono सरकारଙ୍କ पाखरे सब बेले availability of money रहिबो it was not in currency but in assets so whenever the government or RBI in a deficit condition they could able to turn the assets into the cashable format so that is called availability of the money now I think this is also being covered what is objective of monetary policy there are two basic objectives one is to accelerate the process of economic growth and another one is controlled expansion I hope these are being over qualitative and quantitative measures be sorry jaithila I guess okay now
Yes, ma'am.
okay thank you so while we're talking about what is monetary policy or why monetary policy is highly required tar basic reason hela kon RBI is a particular institution who try to try to control the whole business environment and that business environment is controlled through the various policies rules regulation आपण किछि भी कोंतो ता थ्रू रे एटा कोन होची ना कंट्रोल्ड होची fine just a minute I'll go to the fiscal policy so while we're talking about this monetary policy re the role of RBI plays a very vital or RBI plays a very vital role so came to how RBI plays a very vital role. तापाई कि हमें टिके RBI विषय पढ़िबा दरकार. And I think all of us have little bit information what is RBI and how and why RBI is called as one of the prime institution in India. So who going to be tell us that? Why RBI is called as the prime institution or prime financial institution in India? Yes, while we're talking about what is RBI, because monetary policy पढ़िले आपण RBI पढ़िबे. While we're talking about RBI otherwise called as the Central Bank of India. Now, why it is called Central Bank of India? Because it always try to control the demand and supply of Indian rupees. So what do you understood by demand and supply? Demand and supply of Indian rupees, that means if India's population is around 130 crore or more than that, what exactly the people required in terms of liquefied money, and if the population required this amount of liquefied money, is it available in India or not? So you may raise a question that, Madam, jodi India pakhre paisa nahi, tale RBI chhapi dabo paisa. So RBI the currency, create karuchi na, chhapuchi na, to se chhapi dabo. No, it is not possible. Eventually, jodi paisa chhapi hi paruthanda, tahale to RBI will definitely print the note and issue to the public. And in that way, everyone have money. Is it really possible?
No.
Is it really possible that if no, it is not possible. Why it is not possible?
Because madam, some restriction will be there because in our constitution there is some restriction like by the permission of the parliament, means joint session, they will instruct the RBI to, means they will give the permission to RBI for the printing for the notes by deciding the factor by considering all the factors.
Okay, that is absolutely correct. But I'm not asking that. I'm asking if RBI issues, a print note and issue to the general public, where the general public do not have money and they have a egress need of money. Jadi RBI chhapi ki banti dela, tale taro consequences ta kon hobo? देखो गोटे जिन
କ୍ୟାଶ ବହୁତ ହେଲେ ରେଟ୍ ବି ବଢିଯିବ, ମାନେ ସେମାନେ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରିବାକୁ ପଛେଇବେନି.
ओके, कैश बढ़िगले तो खर्च बढ़िबो ना, लोक बेसी किनिबे ना, मार्केट तो बेसी मूव ऑन करिवो ना,
वैल्यू विल बी लेस.
ओके, ठीक अछि. बट मो भाबुची कि आ गोटे पॉइंट भी आपण ऐड कर परिबे, जेमति कि इफ यू stay at your home and someone give you 50,000 rupees at the end of the month, fine. जदि सरकार सेया कले कि तमे घरे बसछ 50,000 टंका मासको तुमको दे देले, फाइन, तो तमे कौन कलो ना, मार्केट गलो, मार्केट रु जिंस किनलो एंड तुमको काम करिया दरकार नहीं. डू यू रियली बिलीव इन दिस वे the population can create skills? I think no. Population तांकर स्किल देखै परिबे, क्रिएट करि परिबे हबनी. आपनकर मार्केट रो ग्रोथ हबनी, कारण लोक माने लेथार्जिक हे जिवे. जेतले आपण जानु चंद कि मु किछि न करि कि पैसा रोजगार करि परिबी, you will not try to do any work, and that is the most essential portion which is completely negative, which will drag the human being into certain kind of inability. And remember, inability create most difficult situation for the business organization and for any country. And whatever someone is saying that is, RBI can't print note as a sole way, it is absolutely correct. RBI nije chahile note chapi paribo nahi. So there are some restrictions.
Now came to RBI. RBI is started 1st April. That means RBI operated in the 1st April of 1935 under the Britishers' rules, and RBI Act was started year back in 1934. 1934 re RBI Act asila, but in the year of 1935, 1st April, RBI is started its operation. The original share capital was divided into shares of 100, which is fully paid, which is under the ownership of private shareholders, and RBI was nationalized on 1st January 1949. Ta purbaru 100% share which is being fully paid, seta thila private shareholders pakhare, but in the year of 1949, 1st of January, RBI was announced as the nationalized bank. Then jodi ta poro stanza ko apan asbe, this is called how RBI departments are being divided on accordingly and on according to the duties. So there are 21 members who are called as the Central Board of Directors. That includes a governor. There are 4 deputy governors, 2 ministry representatives from the finance ministry, and 10 government nominated directors, and 4 directors are appointed to represent the local board with each headquarter. Koti headquarter achi RBI ro. RBI re headquarter achi Mumbai re, Kolkata re, Chennai re, and New Delhi, which is the capital of India. This is what a brief history of RBI. Fine. If you go to the proper history of RBI, RBI started in the way back, proposed, not started, sorry. It was proposed in the year, in a way back 1926, and it was recommended by the Hilton Young Commission, which is one of the prime commission of Britishers. Then it was established, and then it was centralized in the year of, means moved from Kolkata to Mumbai permanently in the year of 1937, and nationalized hala 49. This is what a brief, little bit brief history jodi ame koiba. Now came to what are the major functions that is RBI performed. Kon major function achi jota ki RBI perform karuchi? The major functions are issuing of notes, bankers to government, custody of cash reservation of commercial banks, custody of currency or forensic currency exchange, lenders of the last resort, implementation of monetary policy. Ikuda hala kono na RBI ro basic kamo. First, major work ko jiba, major functions ko jiba. The first function of RBI is issuing of notes. Now, what do you understood by issuing of notes? Issuing of notes means Reserve Bank of India, under the section of 22, RBI has the sole right to issue currency notes of that denomination which is came to the RBI as the defective notes. एमती नहीं कि RBI बिल्कुल भी नोट छापी परिबनी. Yes, RBI छापी परिबो, but कौन छापीबो ना आपण जो एवरीडे किछि ना किछि नोट चिरी जाउची, जळी जाईची कि तादरे इंक पड़ी जाईची, आपण कोन करछन्ते, आपण नै कि बैंक रे सेटा एक्सचेंज करूछन्ते. Now bank will give the exact information to RBI what are the damaged notes, and every day RBI सेतिकी नोट सेई डिनोमिनेशन रे छापिकी same branch को पठौची. That is what under section 22 RBI try to print money of that denomination of notes which is being damaged every day. But that chhoda jodi apana कहउचंती, the currency is something like 1 rupee currency, it is being issued by Ministry of Finance of government, be a signature of finance secretary, and there is no interference of RBI in that. Then came to the second function that was called bankers to government. Now, in yesterday class, I also told you that ଯେତେବେଳେ monetary policy ଆଉ fiscal policy ଆପଣ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି, there is a great relationship between monetary policy and fiscal policy. Great relationship कौन पाई? जितने में India like country देखचो where the population are almost all population are average earners, and अपन यदि कोई भी concentration of money that is in the hand of only 3% population of India. Concentration of money कहले कौन ना? concentration of money कहले जो मानन को पाखरे पैसा अछि, जो माने highly rich group under रे आसुचंदी, that is only 3% amongst the 130 crores of population. तो तांको नंबर बहुत कम. फाइन. कहा नंबर अधिका ना? those who are fighting for survival सेमान का नंबर अधिका. might be he is a middle class social person, or maybe a weaker person in the society, or maybe came under BPL category. एमानकर percentage बहुत अधिका. Now while fiscal policy ला कोण ना? fiscal policy is called as the ratio between the government income and expenditure. मु काली भी तो मु last class रे कहितली एटा हमें कोण ना government गोटे ratio calculation होची जे government एतिकी income करची एतिकी expenditure हिसाब रे use करूची. And in India there are very few people who are the taxpayers, direct and indirect taxpayer, but there is a huge number of populations are there in India who are not the taxpayer. semane kono na? semane hele non taxpayer or exempted categories रे आसुचंदी, but they are the priority sector जो माने कि government रो विभिन्न प्रकार facilities को adopt करूचंदी और facilities पाउचंदी. बुझी होची? जदि यार गोटे रेशियो नेबे ता माने आपण कम रोजगार करिवे, अधिका खर्च करिवे, ता रेशियो रे सब बेले कोन बना आपण गोटे डेफिसिट कंडीशन को आसी जिवे. and that is what happened to government of India always. government of India रे सब बेले देखिबे आपण fiscal deficit थाए, ता माने the ratio टा imbalance हुए, and in comparison to the government income, expenditure exceeded at a very high region. जेतले गवर्नमेंट रे एक्सपेंडिचर एक्सीड करी जाउची, गवर्नमेंट कोन करबो? गवर्नमेंट नाउ थिंक अबाउट द बैंक which will help government in this particular situation. That particular bank is central bank or RBI. बुझेला? So in this way RBI always try to give a helping hand to government of India to came out from the deficit financing or deficit section. बुझी होची? तो ए जो ए जो helping hand ता RBI कोन एमती helping hand बढ़ी दबा कि no? In that time period when government is in a deficit format, in that time period government always tried to sell out its government security products. But remember, as for the Indian judiciary system and legislation, government cannot sell anything directly to the any financial product directly to the market. So a time re kon hobo na? RBI on behalf of government sell or different kind of security products in the market and try to gather money and give a helping hand to government. That's why it is called bankers to government. सेतिबे इडा को कहूची ना government bank. Now came to the next one, that was called this RBI also called as custody of CRR or cash reserve of the commercial banks. Now what do you understood by CRR? It's a very popular term nowadays. What do you understood by CRR?
Cash reserve ratio.
Very good. But what is that? Eta to full form apna kahile.
Means RBI has to keep some amount with that bank.
Very good. But why? Why this is required? Why this is required? Yes.
If actually, ma'am, banks are taking saving from public. If the bank is unable to return the amount, then that time the RBI will help to the public. That's why he saves he reserves some of amount from bank from the public money.
Okay, very good. Now, while we're talking about cash reservation ratio, as the name suggests, RBI tried to reserve some cash from the commercial banks. And whatever he said right now, just 1 minute before, that is absolutely correct. You know, while we are talking about a banking is an organization where, everyday transactions are being made. And if the commercial banks are in a deficit format, then they will definitely try to take a help from RBI. But remember, RBI do not have any earning. RBI ର ନିଜର କୌଣସି earning ନାହିଁ. ସେ ଯାହା ବି ଜିନିଷ ବିକେ, ଯାହା ବି products ବିକେ, that is through some prime commercial banks. So directly to କିଛି ବିକେନି. That's why RBI do not have directly do not have any kind of earning. Now, there are two concepts through which RBI try to make out money. First one is called cash reserve ratio. Second one is called, statutory liquidity ratio. Now, what is cash reserve ratio? Jodi mo bahut easy bhasha re kahibi, dhara ajika date re, syndicate bank or Canada bank ra earning hala 100 rupees. Fine. So 100 rupees ru 96 rupees will reserve with the bank. 96 rupees kaha pakhe roibo? Bank pakhe roibo. 4 rupees was a complete drain out to RBI. Ei jo 4 rupees ke decide karuchi. Just ei purburu ame padhilu monetary policy ra au gote kam hala bank rates decide kariba, interest rate decide kariba. CRR kete percentage ro rahibo, that is also being decided by the RBI and Ministry of Finance combinedly decided ki kete rahibo CRR. Now ame kochu CRR must be fluctuated in between 4% to 12%. Fine. Sabbale man rakhandu jette CRR ra percentage badhibo, sette it will beneficial to the system. CRR ର percentage କେତେବେଳେ ବଢିବ? ଯେତେବେଳେ bank ର earning ବଢିବ. ବୁଝିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି? ଯେତେବେଳେ bank ର earning ବଢିବ. Now the question is, bank ର earning କେତେବେଳେ ବଢିବ? ଯେତେବେଳେ loan recover ହବ. ଲୋକ ଅଧିକରୁ ଅଧିକ ଲୋକ loan ନେବେ, investment କରିବେ. That is not the end. Yes, it is not only the people will take loan, but also bank, recover the loan with a very smoothly with a time interval. जदि एटा चलीला ताले कमर्शियल बैंक बहुत अधिक अर्निंग करिवे. जेते अर्निंग बढ़िबो मन रखंतु पैसा जदि आपण 100 टंका रोजगार करछन 4 टंका ड्रेन आउट करछन जोटी 1000 टंका कले सेठी आपण तार 5% की 6% ड्रेन आउट कर परबे आराम रे. So ei jo percentage ta fix ke करे ना RBI करूची with the consultation of Ministry of Finance. And India re last something like 8-9 years helan ki besi helani, it was revolving around 5% to 4% to 5%. Adara konosi change houni, and that was the reflection of not growing the economic or RBI system in India. तामाने RBI system India रे भी कोनोसी प्रकार growth नहीं. Got it? Now came to SLR. जेमते हमें cash reservation ratio कहूचु, SLR is called as statutory liquidity ratio. Now it is otherwise called as time liability. Time liability. So जेमते 100 टंका मु आपन को एग्जांपल दउथिली कि Canada Bank रो अर्निंग हला 100 टंका, ता धरो 96 रुपीस Canada Bank निजो पाखे रखिबो. CRR ର percentage ହେଲା 4%, 4% पळेबो काहा पाखकु ना RBI पाखकु. It is a complete drain out. एटा परे आउ फेरिबो नाही. सेमती SLR ହେଲା कोनोसी भी बैंक तार अर्निंग रो अराउंड 25 रू 35% टर्न कर दबो into some assets. बुझियो जी, that assets may be a security product रे convert करूची, or else convert करूची किछि precious metals रे, convert करची से land रे, से convert करकी he has to store the money. कौन पे storage is required? जेतेबेले टाइम जेतेबेले आपण लायबिलिटी रे रहिबे, जेतेबेले कमर्शियल बैंक पाखरे पैसा नथिबो,
ସେତେବେଳେ ଏଇ ଲାଇବିଲିଟି ଟାକୁ ସରି ଏଇ ଆସେଟ ଟାକୁ ସିଏ କଣ କରିବ ନା କନଭର୍ଟ କରିବ ଇନଟୁ କ୍ୟାश and the bank ଚଲେଇବ. That is, these are two concepts of bank or monetary policy which help the RBI system at a lot or at a very large way. Then
Ma'am,
custody of, yes please.
SLR author ma'am clear ହେଇପାରିଲେନି.
SLR is called time liability product. तार full formula statutory liquidity ratio. This ratio in India varies from 15 to 35. एजिका डेट रे रेशियो टा पाखापाखि से 15 ରୁ 20% भितर vary करके रहउची इंडिया रे. आर काम कोन? Why this time liability concept was there? Time liability concept कहउची बैंक रो जति के अर्निंग रहउची बैंक से अर्निंग रा अराउंड 15 ରୁ 35% जहां भी अपन का SLR परसेंटेज थिबो सेति परसेंट जेमि CRR परसेंट 4% SLR परसेंट जहां थिबो सेति परसेंट रो अमाउंट को से कोन करिवो ना रिजर्व करके रखिबो. ना रिजर्व कोथरे करिवो कन्वर्ट कोथरे करिवो ना he will convert that money into some assets. That assets may be कौन सी गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी बॉन्ड ही पड़ता है तार assets से ही पड़ता है किछि प्रीशियस मेटल्स से कन्वर्ट करूची पैसा को assets रे. फाइन जो assets रे कन्वर्ट करूची सबले मन रखंदे ए asset गुडाला growing assets रे से कन्वर्ट करूची. Once it is being converted and it was kept with the bank, whenever bank is in a deficit format, fine से कौन करिवो ए जो SLR को पुणी एनकैश करेबो. एनकैश करेकी ताको यूज करिवो फॉर द ट्रांजैक्शंस. एटा हला SLR एंड CRR. आपण आउ दीटा कांसेप्ट भी पढिबा कथा. That was called RBI came along with a very pure concept of repo and reverse repo. Fine. Repo and reverse repo कोन ना एटा भी आपनकर आसीबो के गवर्नमेंट टू बैंक bankers to government under रे आसीबो. Now what do you understood by repo? आपण जो देखु ना गवर्नमेंट सॉरी RBI जो 4% रो पैसा रखुची that was kept with RBI, and whenever there is a huge deficit in commercial bank lend loan from RBI. RBI कोड पैसा आणला ना आपनकर 4% रखची कमर्शियल बैंक रो से 4% रे जहा पैसा रखिची से कमर्शियल बैंक को गोटे लोन दबो ताको हमें कहउछु रेपो. Repo means that loan came along with a repurchase option, and this repo, all repo products are have a maturity period of 1 year. गोटे वर्ष भितरे कमर्शियल बैंक को RBI जो पैसा देइची ताको repurchase करिया पड़िबो with a yield of 4.66%. माने repurchase means it has to be पैसा पुणी रिटर्न जीवा दरकार RBI पाखो को से रिकम्पेंसेट हबो और repurchase ऑप्शन ने रहबो जहार yield हला केते ना 4.66 इन इंडिया. आको में कहउछु रेपो जेतरे कमर्शियल बैंक RBI टू पैसा आणुची as a loan ताको में कहउछु रेपो. जेतेबेले कमर्शियल बैंक टू RBI पैसा नउची ताको कहउछु रिवर्स रेपो. ए चारटा हला प्राइम कांसेप्ट ऑफ RBI इन मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी. नेक्स्ट को आसंतु custody of foreign currency. Now what do you understood by custody of foreign currency? Now in the world we are having around 85 different type of currencies. आमे जितरे पूरा वर्ल्ड कथा कहूछु बहुत देश अछंती जो माने different currencies use करंती. जेमती we might be say dollar is common. No, dollar is not common. कौन पई? Because if you go to US you have US dollar, UK you have UK dollar, you go to Canada you have Canadian dollar, if you go to China you have Chinese dollar. So dollar but city B tara variations rohuchi. Fine. And we have other different kind of currency in the worldwide. Now the question is currency exchange हुए क्या कहेंगे how केमिति. Now currency exchange is one of the way which create money for the Indian government. Fine.
For an example, Mr. X is having a job in UK or USA. तो आपण जेतले जॉब पाइले आपण जिबे गला बेले कोन करिवे ना आपण किछि इंडियन करेंसी को कन्वर्ट करिवे कोथरे कन्वर्ट करिवे ना आपण कन्वर्ट करिवे यूएस डॉलर फाइन जेमति कि आज डेट रे आपण जानछन यूएस डॉलर इन कंपैरिजन टू इंडियन डॉलर इज वेरी लेस फाइन बहुत कम but still people try to convert that into US dollar because सेमान जेतरे US जेबे सेतरे इंडियन करेंसी सेटी आ काम करिवो नाही एटा ला बेसिक कांसेप्ट तांको देशर करेंसी दरकार ना को चेंज की करूची ना ताको आरबीआई चेंज करूची काउंटर्स आर देयर आपण सेमति भी जानतो जेमति आपणकर बहुत चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट फर्म्स थाए जो माने के करेंसी एक्सचेंज करूचंती एयरपोर्ट रे जानतो पारी सेटी भी करेंसी एक्सचेंज होची बैंक को जानतो यू गॉट अ करेंसी एक्सचेंज काउंटर इन बैंक स्पेसिफिकली एनआरआई ब्रांचेस आर देयर जेमति कि एसबीआई रे एनआरआई ब्रांच अछि पीएनबी रे एनआरआई ब्रांच अछि सो एठी आपन को बेसी किछि करिया को पड़िबोनी यू जस्ट शो योर वीजा यू जस्ट शो योर tickets and formalities and they will transfer the money into the currency whatever you want for बुझेला आपण जेतले करेंसी एक्सचेंज करूचंती आरबीआई will take a nominal amount as a fee of these exchanges आपण जेतले एक्सचेंज करूचंती आरबीआई तारो गोटे nominal fee रखि दोछि and that's why RBI is called as the custodian of foreign currency reserves fine then came to next function that was called lender to the last resort commercial banks go to the central bank in the time of emergency mu just tamanu कहउतिली जेतले commercial bank is in a deficit condition जदि नीरव मोदी भलिया 50 टा लोक बाहरले and प्रति nationalized bank रे एमती किछि गोटे scam हैला where they are going from India with some 11,000 crore rupees 10,000 crore rupees एमिति जदि हैला condition then definitely the commercial banks are in a very atpata situation आपण कोंतो जोटि कि से माने कोनोसी प्रकार फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शन करि परिबे नाही जेतेबेले करि परिबे नाही से कोन करिवे they will definitely look to the central bank or RBI to make some in between roads in that emergency period सेतेबेले जेतले RBI तांको पैसा दउची help करूची loan दउची that was called repo system and it is called lenders to the last resort. Now came to the monetary policy which is also a very crucial portion of RBI. Monetary policy always try to regulate the income and demand and supply of currency and try to control the inflation, try to control the GDP of India, where in monetary policy jodi apan dekhuchendi CRR is somehow varies in 4%, SLR varies from 20.5% to 35%. Refinancing facilities are there, which is also a very crucial part of monetary policy. Refinancing facilities kono apan mane samaste jani thibe mo bhabuchi what is refinancing facilities? एटा आपण माने करूचंदी बे refinancing facilities आपण को दिया होची अच्छा Mr. X is taking a loan fine Mr. X गोटे loan नेची Canada Bank रो remember whether जदि आपण खाली loan रो मु गोटे portion कहूची what is refinancing facility आपण जदि loan टा आपण गोटे 10 वर्ष पे loan नै चंदे and 2 वर्ष हला loan को but आपण को गोटे जिंस बहुत पक्का कि आपण time to time loan टा रो interest pay करूचंती and whatever installment amount that you have paid paying to the bank with a very correct time. Remember the bank will ask you for refinancing facilities ता माने पुणी आपण को बैंक loan offer करिवो एटा हम कोची गोटे प्रोडक्ट yes please
Can it call it parallel loans?
yes, you can call it parallel loans. They will offer you, will definitely offer you. It is called the refinancing facilities for the bank. Apart from that, right now, you also open your demat account in bank. Ajika date re apan demat account kholuchandi. Jodi apan ko SIP trade karibar achi, apan ko jodi day trading karibar achi, ki apan ko stock broking karibar achi, ki stock trading karibar achi, then you'll definitely go along with the demat account. Remember, demat account also a portion of refinancing facilities. Jodi apan demat account kholuchandi, simultaneously you have to open one more account where your benefit will came and kept in that particular account, which is also called as the refinancing facility. ଯେମିତି କି dividend facilities ରହୁଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କର, dividend ଆପଣ receive କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ଆପଣ financing କରୁଛନ୍ତି or refinancing କରୁଛନ୍ତି, that is also came under this particular monetary policy system. Market stabilization scheme, it is always not possible. ଯେତେବେଳେ market stabilization scheme କଣ କହୁଛି na market ko stable kariya ପାଇଁ ki RBI try to make some interesting offers in the product and services. Fine, RBI बहुत different excited offers ani, so that people or general well-being are being feel attracted and they will make their investment in the bank. Open market operations, ଯେମିତି କି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ନେଇ ଯାଆନ୍ତୁ ଯେମିତି କି ଆପଣଙ୍କର IPOs ଖୋଲୁଛି, government IPOs, that must be open market operation ରେ ଆସିବା କଥା, ଆଜିକା date ରେ ଆସିଲାଣି। ଯେମିତି କି ଆପଣଙ୍କ ବଡ ବଡ corporations ର IPOs ଖୋଲୁଛି, ଏଟା ବି open market operations ଆସିଗଲାଣି। ଟିକେ ଖାଲି ଜାଣନ୍ତୁ open market operation କଣ। ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ government security market କଥା କହୁଛୁ, that was being divided into 6 different portions. Okay, government security market. Are there are 2 or 3 products which is available for the general public? Other products are not being offered to the general public. General public ପାଇଁ କଣ offer ହଉଛି ନା PD, that was called your first ହେଲା ଆପଣଙ୍କର T-bills, ଯୋଉଟା ଆମେ treasury bills କହୁଛୁ, ସେଟା general ଲୋକଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ offer ହଉଛି, ଯୋଉଟା କି government security product। ତା ଛଡା commercial papers, commercial bills and CBLO, ଏଇ ଯୋଉ 4ଟା product ରହିଲା, ଏଟା general ଲୋକଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ offer ହଉଛି। आ छड़ा जो प्रोडक्ट रहला जेमति कि कॉल मनी मार्केट, नोटिस मनी मार्केट, एगुडा सबु ए जो मार्केट गुडा रहउची ओडा रेस्ट्रिक्टिव रहउची। So what it is the major work of this monetary policy to make all the market operations in an open way. Repo rate in India is 6.25 and reverse repo rate is 6%. तामाने RBI जेतले दबो 6.25% रा इंटरेस्ट रे दबो, but bank जेतले नबो सेतले 6 दबो जेतले 6% रे दबो। बुझी होची bank rate is 6.5.
Currently repo rate and reverse repo rate are not this.
Currently it is not this. एटा मो previous टा कहूची बुझिया ପାଇଁ कि current was different and दीटा का समान अछि एबे, repo and reverse repo.
Reverse repo means, ma'am, now little less, but repo is 4% and reverse repo is 3.35%, I hope.
Yeah. Right now it is not the current repo rate. Even in the CRR is not exactly 4%. It is 4.12% right now. I think 2 or 3 days back. So these informations are not exactly ajika information nuhe. Ajika information every time apan Google re khali lekhi debe CRR or repo, it will came out. Fine. Now all these being covered. Please kuntu kon kochu.
Repo और reverse repo रे जदि किछि ऊपर तळ हुए तो सेटा कोन इंपैक्ट पकाय?
Repo and
reverse repo
sorry,
यदि रेपो अधिक होची और रिवर्स रेपो कम होची या वाइस वर्सा, तर हमरो इकोनॉमी ऊपर तार इफेक्ट कोन पड़े?
देखंतु जदि हम कहूछु कि exactly what is the impact of repo rate on our economy. Repo rate जदि अधिक हैला, then it is difficult for the commercial banks to take that loan from RBI. So आपण जेतरे गोटे deficit format रे अछंती and you are looking for a for a loan but you can't able to avail that loan, it is a very disappointed for the market situation. जदि यही system चलिला ताहले आपण directly बुझी परिबे कि commercial bank loan रो percentage को बहुत बढ़े दबो, loan रो interest rate को बहुत बढ़े दबो, so that people are having fear to take loans from कोटू commercial bank. कारण तांको पाखरे पैसा नहीं, एटा गोटे आपण सबवे सब रोड गोटे बाहर करिवे कि जदि मो पाखरे पैसा नहीं and repo rate is very high, then what I have to do? Then the midway hela kono, you have to think about priority sector re that what ways that I has to take a step forward jaha dara mo ei sabu jinsa ro banchi paribi. So ta ପାଇଁ କଣ କରିବେ ନା ଆପଣ ନିଜର loan ର interest rate ଟାକୁ ବଢେଇ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ, so that ଲୋକ loan ନବା କମେଇ ଦେବେ, and for a timing you could able to save yourself. ବୁଝିଉଛି ଯଦି reverse repo rate ଟା କମୁଛି, it is not good, ତା ମାନେ RBI is in a loss. Commercial bank ଯେତେବେଳେ ନଉଛି, the repo rate is around 5%, but ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦଉଛି 4%, so definitely RBI will take a chance of a loss. And dita jakore, it will somehow, jadi repo and reverse repo stop hochi, tale it will definitely say banking condition is very good. Jadi banking condition kharab rahiba pare bhi commercial banks pakhre paisa न rahila pare bhi commercial bank na repo na reverse repo ko opt kurchi, ta mane the condition is worst. Yes, anyone kono jane ke kahutile but mo suni
Ma'am? Hello? Hello? Ma'am?
मैम डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए.
no questions. Actually बंद
Ma'am?
होला, no कुहंतु, no questions. Please.
हम मैम जेतेबेले रेपो रेट होता सेतेबेले कमर्शियल बैंक माने आरबीआई रु बोरो करंती, सेतेबेले आरबीआई बेनिफिटेड हुए, बट जेतेबेले रिवर्स रेपो हुए सेतेबेले बैंक्स माने बेनिफिटेड होंती, बिकॉज़ फंड ऑफ सब आरबीआई रिजर्व करे सेतेबेले एटा ना.
Definitely.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक
But
है, तो रिवर्स पॉइंट.
जदि किंतु आपनकर जेमति कि एबे जदि आपण देखिबे, आजिर मु देखुथिली जस्ट गोटे मिनिट बैक, दी reverse repo is lesser than repo rate, then definitely RBI is in a deficit condition. कारण जितले आपण return हबो सेतेबेले rate of interest is less. So definitely it was going to be a loss for RBI, but RBI always is the is a prime organization who is always talk about the priority sector. Jadi commercial bank priority, tahale RBI has to take this step forward and help the commercial bank. Any other question, or we should close the class?
मैडम आपन पीपीटी गुडा को ଟିକେ शेयर कर देबे, so that माने हमें जतो फिजिकल क्लास
actually आपण मानकर बे एग्जाम वगैरह चल छै, I was so busy, मु सेति पे शेयर करते टिके आ सजडी बार थिला आपनकर पीपीटी टा, मु सेति पे शेयर करनी. I'll try tomorrow in office, I'll try to share the first and second unit both. मोनालिसा मैडम का पीपीटी मु शेयर कर देथिली. I think you all are having that PPT.
Yes madam, yes madam. Okay.
Thank you. And tomorrow your classes is going to start from 8 AM. And thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.